Hey everybody, Juvenile Stacks here. I use a notepad and I think you should too. I have probably 5 different ones that I just keep within different places around me. In my bag, at my desk, at my bedside. Dang near have one beside the bathroom, beside my toilet in the bathroom. Did you ever make lists as a kid? There are different things saying that if you try to put your ideas into a list format and try to accomplish them that way, it makes it a little easier on the brain. And I think anytime you can try and simplify the way you're doing things, it's always a good idea. They're great for keeping nearby, as I've said earlier, just so you can jot down just about anything. I use these things probably 6 to 10 times a day. Real talk. I can use them for just about any situation that requires me to sit down and think about something. Another reason I like to keep these things around is that they are cheap. You can get a 80-page memo book from Walmart that says Pen Plus Gear. I'm pretty sure they were like $1.10 last time I picked them up. Might be even cheaper. I just have a bag of them. I went and bought probably 10 or 15 of them at one time. And as I need them for different projects and different ideas, everything gets its own sometimes. I also have bigger notepads, like the spiral bound notebooks. I keep some of those. I keep some of those for things like my garden and things like Tragedy Collective, which is an art collective that my best friend Wizard Hat and I co-run. I feel like writing things down feels better, as opposed to trying to tap things out on your phone. I know this sounds so old school, but it feels more concrete, and I feel like you're more apropos to act on it instead of going back through your notepad on your phone. It allows you to organize your thoughts really a lot better. You get to slow down a little bit and write it down. Think of your word choice, which then, as you go along and do the task, or as you go along and you start your task at hand, you can go through and see each part as you did and see what needs to come next as well. I think that keeping a notepad is perfect for things such as, of course, grocery lists. You can write down things over time as you need them. If you see something that you need but you might not remember it, the next time you go to the store, just write it down in your notepad and you'll have it. Poetry. I sing and I like to do poetry as well, so sometimes I have one just beside my bed where I write things down sometimes. So actually, I also use the one downstairs at my desk as well sometimes for that, but they all get compiled into the one upstairs as well. Idea organization, again, for Tragedy Collective or for my own business ideas or my own ponderings. I like to write them down so that I can more fully flesh them out and I can fully realize the ideas so that I'm not going into things slapdash. I can just research things. I keep them for recipe keeping. I have some ideas in the future to make a cooking video or two for you guys, and I like to work on the recipes that I am looking at to do for you guys. And one of the things that I do is I keep a list of all the different previous versions of that thing that I've done. I also sometimes do a doodle if I have an idea for something I want to make on a computer or something that I want to try and photo edit or something of that nature. I can draw it out first before I create it. any list or compilation of ideas or information collected, they're great for that. I mean, if you find some sources on something, you can write them down and then apply them to the different ideas that you have written down as well. So again, you can attack things with a more forward motion without having to do a lot more side work beforehand or like afterwards. You do that all beforehand, so you already know what's going on. ADT individuals, I think they would really enjoy this. I'm one of those people. My mind goes at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and sometimes if I don't write something down, I'll forget it, and I'm really bad about that, where I will have forgotten to write down something, like on a grocery list, and I will have gone to the store twice and not gotten something that I needed to get 4 days ago, and it always makes me a little angry, just of course because I have these things around. Why am I not using them? But it's just part of the daily part of getting into using them. I've been using them for about a year and I still find myself forgetting, but that's just part of being human, the air of being human. And really, I think that everyone can find some need for a notebook. If you for everything from, again, idea organization to creative ideas, everything, or just writing down your thoughts. If you use one as a diary, that's great too. Now, everything that you just heard from me before this were all just different bullet points that I wrote down on one of my memo pads to tell you guys about the importance of why I think using a notepad is so important. I think that in doing so, you can not say as much, and you can make it to where your ideas are more fleshed out, and you don't have to worry as much about sounding less professional. Not that I'm trying to sound more professional, but I would like to sound better for my videos. And in doing so, I think script writing is going to be something that I try to incorporate a little more. And as of right now, a jotted down notepad with some bullet points happens to be the best version of that, because the things that I'm doing aren't so high maintenance that I need to go through and make them more realized and more fleshed out. Well, thank you guys so much for listening to this random weirdo thing where I go through and talk about my notepads. If you enjoyed this, please give this a like, a comment telling me if you use a notepad or if you plan on using a notepad. I'll put a thing in the comments, like a paste bin, where I will put some links into some cool different kinds of notepads if you'd like to look at those. If you do look at those and decide to buy one, I might get commission off of it, just letting you know. But also, just letting you know that if you go to my description of my channel, you'll see some other links. Just go check those out. Thank you guys so much for getting here. Again, like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much.